Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to City Skylines Snowfall. Today, we are going to be putting a lot of focus on public transport because it is not very good, and that's something that people have made very clear in the comments. I've known this for a while, I've wanted to do this for a while, and I've just spent about, I'll say about 30 minutes redoing my metro lines, and then I realized that there's a strategy I could use to sort of improve everything in the city, which is to actually build metro lines and bus lines at exactly the same time so that they complement each other, so that buses go to places that metro lines don't and vice versa. And the reason that we need that so desperately is because right there is a stop for my, I believe, downtown outer line 2. It's a bus line. There are about 750 people right there waiting for a bus. And at any one time, a route master is going to come along and pick up about 85 of them. In fact, we can just sit here and watch for a second and you'll see more and more people are piling in. And if I'm very quick with this, I can go to here. I'll bring up my bus overlay. Downtown outer line 2. I don't want to delete the line, no. There are 747 people currently stood there. A bus is about to come along. There it is. And that has dropped down to... That didn't drop. That number is rising. It's... that number is rising rather than falling, which is really, really not good. So, we need to figure out why there are 750 people there. And we need to figure out why there's not that many people using my other lines. Because as you can see, I mean, no one is using the Crescent Autumn Shuttle. So that's going away. Autumn Heights Line 1 gets a little bit of use. Autumn Emerson Foggy Shuttle doesn't. So that's going to go. We have the City to Airport Express. Gets a bit of use, that's okay. Crescent Hills Line 1 isn't getting used, so is going to go away. Crescent Hills Line 2 isn't getting used, so is going to go away. There are, I mean, as you can see, there's, 30, there are passengers, don't get me wrong, I say these aren't being used. I mean, the Heather Holly shuttle is not being used. There are 8 passengers per week. That's nowhere near enough to keep that bus line. What I want to see is every one of my bus lines having about 100 people using it. So, I mean, Downtown Inner's okay. Downtown Inner there is okay as well. Emerson to Foggy is, again, not really being used. So that's going to go away. Same with the second Emerson to Foggy line. We have Heather Line 1 not being used. Foggy Heather Shuttle. There's just a lot of bus lines here are not being used by all that many people. And I feel like I could make better bus lines if I look at where people are wanting to go, which I can't do. I don't actually have the traffic report tool enabled right now, but I do want to get rid of all these bus lines. The City Airport Express can stay just because it's the City Airport Express. Autumn Heights Line 1 is gonna go. We're gonna keep these ones. So you'll notice these are all the downtown lines. We have the Downtown Central line, we have the Downtown Inner, the 2 lines there. All of the downtown lines are doing pretty well. The rest of them in the city were not. So what do the downtown lines have in common that the rest of them didn't? Basically, from what I can tell, I mean, the downtown lines have a lot, and I mean a lot, of subway stations near them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new bus line, and it's going to start just here, right next to this subway station. So I'll also show you the new subway layout in a second, but we'll have it start there, right next to that subway station. And I notice that there are no buses that sort of service the areas around that. There's a subway station down there, but there's nothing that will take people in here, for example. So, what we'll do is we're basically going to create a series of buses that will take people to places that the subways will not take them. So that's what I hope will create a bit of a better setup for the buses. It might work, it might not, but you know, I have hopes. So that is the Moor line is what that is. So there we go. We've set that up. Let's just run the simulation for a second and see how many people end up going to this bus stop. I don't know if it'll be many. I mean, I'm obviously not really seeing anything at the moment. What I'll do is just have a quick look at the moor line itself. No passengers currently, but we can have a look at all the stops here and see the details. There's one passenger there at stop 6, which really isn't much. That's not much. The people don't really want to go into Moor Hills from that particular area, which is fine. There's not 2 people waiting, which again is fine. But this bus stop doesn't actually take people to where they want to go. And that's possibly because there is a subway just here as well. So anyone that's wanting to go from here to here is obviously going to just take the subway rather than any other thing. And even to here, I mean, they can go down to this way. They can transfer. There's ways to do it. So I don't think the Moor line is really all that necessary. I mean, it's getting a bit busy. Actually, I say that. It's getting a little bit busier. There's a few people about there waiting. I guess we'll wait. We'll leave it a little bit and we'll see what happens with the Moor line. That may end up being quite useful. But we have that stopping there. We'll also put a stop just there, because that is near the other subway station, which is probably important to have there. In fact, could I maybe, just maybe, move that stop there to that position? Actually, take that one out completely. And then I want to move this stop to the front of that subway station. So again, that sort of services the subway and links them together in a way that might be a bit more efficient than what we had previously. Let's have another quick look. The Moor line is getting a fair number of people. That's not so bad. That's better than what we previously had. So we'll see if that ends up working. It might be worth doing an inverse line. I guess we'll give that a test and see what happens. I'm not hugely into the whole inverse line thing. I know it's incredibly efficient when it comes to cities, but it's I don't know. I don't think it's the most realistic thing, and it just really grinds my gears is what it does. There you go. That's exactly what it does. There's Moor line, and then we'll just do inverse so we know what it is. We'll also just select the types. It's going to be Route Masters. And I want to get rid of a bunch of vehicles in this because I really don't think we're going to need that many. So we'll add, we'll have 4 buses on that. Then for Moor Line 1, we're going to have, apparently there's 8 on there. We'll take out those there and remove. There we go. So we might see this work out, we might not. There are a fair number of people at stop 1, which is a good thing. So we might see this turn out. We might see a lot of people use the inverse one. We might see a lot of people use this one. Doesn't really matter. I'm just curious to see what happens. Now, I'm also somewhat aware of the fact that apparently I haven't got rid of all my bus line. What is that? That's a tram line. I was very curious. I didn't know what the hell that was. So there is actually a tram line that goes around there, which seems to be, I mean, barely used. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I'm tempted to get rid of trams completely. I think I'm going to get rid of the Autumn Heights tram because it's just, it's really not serving the city in any good way. So that's going to go away. What we'll also do, what this means we can do, is actually come in and we can replace this road at long last with an actual large avenue. This has been a long time coming, but well, it's finally happening is what it's doing. So we'll bring this the whole way down to there, and that tram goes off that way. So that needs to be a regular road. We'll put some grass on the sides of it, because why not? But just bring this across, get rid of the trams, and let's do some good things. You know, we're modernizing the city. That's what we're doing. We're modernizing the city. We're making it great. We're making it good. We're making it more efficient. This is going to work, I hope. Let's have a quick look at the lines and make sure I'm not getting rid of anything there. I can actually get rid of all of those tram lines down to about that point. So that's interesting. That I'm really not using anywhere near as much tram road as I thought I was. I'm not even using that bridge anymore, am I? No, I'm not. I'm not using that tram bridge. That's a shame. I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of this section here, and I'll change that into a regular road. And I'm going to change all of this side. But I'll keep the tram sections that I have, because I kind of, for the sake of nostalgia, I kind of like them, to be honest. So I'll just change out these. Wait, those ones are used, aren't they? Those are used, so I need to not get rid of those. Hold on a second. So bring that back up this way. Then that needs to go. That does loop around that way, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Where did the... Oh, it goes that way. Okay, that's fine. So that can come across this way. Like... What? Where did that go? Where on earth does this tram line go? It goes... No, those are bus lines! So I don't have any tram lines in here. Right, okay, well that got very confusing. So I don't have tram lines, so I can get rid of the... Okay, well we're doing all that again. Great. So, basically, I want to keep the tram bridge for the sake of nostalgia. I kind of like it there. I think it's something that, if I could decorate a little bit, would look excellent. Oh, I can finally upgrade this road as well! This is so good! I can finally get rid of these unnecessarily small roads. I also realize that these bits are causing some problems for this, which is a bit annoying. I don't see why that would cause problems, but okay, we'll demolish those to make this work. Get rid of you and upgrade you, and no, that whole section is just upgraded so much better. This bit here is getting upgraded. That bit's getting upgraded. The tram roads in there are going away as well. Oh, it's so much better. It just gets rid of unnecessary things in the roads, makes it look neater. I don't know how far these Whoa, did I disconnect? No, those are bus lines, that's fine. The stops are still there when the tram road isn't, so there's no way that... Oh, I have to get rid of that bridge, don't I? There's no tram over there either. This is a shame. It really is. It's a shame having to get rid of all of this. It would be nice to have a way to sort of loop it, or I guess that's technically a loop, isn't it? Yeah, that works. Okay. What we'll do is it possible to change a road into a pedestrian path? Is that a thing you can do? No. I guess what I could do is change it out for the pedestrian concrete, which, oh wow. That is not what I wanted to do. That's an interesting look. Can I change that back? Because that's not what I wanted to do. That's meant to be highway. Thank you very much. So, we'll see how that goes. That bridge there. We'll change out this bit for the big avenue. And there we go. The trams have been swapped out. It's a bit of a shame. You know, it's a bit of history that we no longer have in the city. But it's all well and good. I also noticed the buses actually loop around in a really strange way. That's really weird. I don't know that I like that. I kind of want to change that up a little bit. Can I take a bus off this way at all and make that happen? I don't know. Hold on a second. Why on earth is... What did I do to make this happen? So why would that not come down to there? There we go. So that loops around the way I want it to. So that stop there would probably have to go there. Hold on. If I put that stop down there... No, that's still not quite what I want. Bring that up to there. So now it loops around the correct way, if I'm not mistaken. I think. If I get rid of you, does it still work? It still works. That's good. Okay, we might see those buses work. We might not. I'm definitely curious, though. Fair few people waiting, but we did get rid of the trams. So, what I want to do is come over to here, and I'm going to start a bus there. And this is going to go from Autumn Heights and sort of around Briarwood a little bit. Because there really isn't much in the way of public transport into areas like Briarwood. So, what we'll do is we'll come down this way a little bit. And we'll come down into initially the lower areas of Autumn Heights. And I think for the sake of ease of access for Briarwood, I want to add in a one-way road to make this a lot easier. So I'm going to add in a one-way road like this, just to that space, perhaps something like that. because it really needs it. It really needs some kind of access so that buses can get through, so that services can get through, and it's something that I think Briarwood's needed for a long time. So we'll do just that. We've got it in. We'll just reconnect all these little pedestrian paths to where they need to go, which apparently is a thing I can't do. That's a bit annoying. Well, that can go away. No, that looks dumb if it goes away. Is there any way I can sort of make this almost connect? That connects. That's fine. Okay, so what I need to do, for one, is probably downgrade that road to a little lane rather than what it is. So downgrade it to a little lane like that. So can I bring a bus from here down to Briarwood? Because that's what needs to happen here. So it comes down into Briarwood, which is great. Then it really wouldn't... Oh, does it have a way out down here? Oh, it does. Excellent. So it's going to come down further into Briarwood. Then I want it to go... I mean, it could go around the city a little bit, because there's not really anything that does that currently. So I guess we'll sort of bring it around the city center a little bit. I guess this can be sort of city center line, is what this will be. So this can actually loop up and into this space and stop in front of that station as well, which will be great. That'll hopefully make things a little bit more efficient. This one could come along and stop in front of that station, which is also a good thing, although there's no way for people to cross that road just there. So that's maybe not as efficient. But then this actually does have the option to just loop up and around and back to there. So that's going to be the, I guess, city center line. Kind of makes sense. I think it does need to be changed out for, where is it? City center line needs to be switched out for Route Master buses, though. So we'll do that. So that loops around, goes down into Briarwood, comes over around the city center, has a stop there. Probably needs a stop somewhere like there as well, which is probably a good thing. Loops out and around. I don't get why it didn't go that way. That seems very strange to me. What if I move the stop back? Ah, there we go. Move the stop back and it's got no problem. Maybe just move the stop back a little bit further so the... Why is the merging into that lane so drastic there? That seems a bit stupid. But fair enough. To each their own, I suppose. Then it comes over, stops in front of that station. I need to get the pedestrian crossings mod back because I need to make a way for people to be able to cross over there, no problem. Unless I can do that. Oh, that didn't work. Do I have to do this? Oh, hold on a minute. This? Ah, no, that works. So if I were to do that, followed by that... Oh, there's no crossings. Perfect. That works. That's going to work so much better. It's going to cause some traffic problems, but that'll work a lot better. I could, in theory, do the same thing up here then. If I go ahead and downgrade that. That's kind of beautiful. That is exactly what this needs. So that's wonderful. Those crossings are going to be used so well by people coming in and out of those areas. Can I turn traffic lights on at those? Oh, I can. That's even better. That means people actually have to stop and wait to cross the road. Which is good. Can I do the same down here then? I totally can. And there as well. So that means, like I said, people cannot cross the roads, and traffic does in fact have to stop and wait for them to do it. Which is what I want them to have to do. So that'll be super useful. Hopefully, we'll see those buses get some good use. Let's have another look at the stats. We have the Moor line. No, well, that's getting a lot of use there. Stop 7. Why is Stop 7 so popular? I guess it's at the very bottom end of the city, isn't it? Fair enough. So Stop 7's quite popular. That's fine by me. What else have we got? The city center line. Oh, very popular. Beautiful. City center line's great. Moor line inverse is also somewhat popular. Could be better. Maybe we don't necessarily need the inverse line. It is a younger line though, so it might pick up a little bit, but the inverse line to me seems like it's unnecessary. So let's cut the Moor inverse line. So the city center line is turning out to be incredibly popular, which seems to mostly be because of the fact that there is a subway station right there. But I'd be curious to see why the city center line is so popular. I mean, where are the majority of people getting off of a bus is what I would really like to know. Because I'm really not seeing where. I mean, are they just filtering out quite naturally? Because I know, like I said, Briarwood and a lot of these areas don't actually have many public transport connections. So it's entirely possible that it is just because of that. But this station here is just opposite a subway and doesn't have anywhere near as much attention. So I'm definitely curious. This one too, just opposite a subway, doesn't have anywhere near as much attention. So it is mostly something to do with this one, which is actually filtering out. It's incredibly popular, but is getting dealt with. There is a new line, the Nerdchester Park Circle. That's the red line that you can see just there. Sort of goes around that area and services all of that. I realize there is some space in here, isn't really being dealt with, but I think we've got some reasonable coverage there. I know that all of this space out here no longer has proper bus coverage, and I'm actually noticing that I should probably do a bus that goes sort of like this, sort of through to there and up to this way a little bit, and then back down is kind of what I want this to do. Basically, I just noticed there that there is a space where buses aren't actually covering areas. So that is, I guess, I don't know what you'd call that, the South Shuttle, I guess? No, it's not a South Shuttle. I guess South Downtown Inner is what we'll call that. South Downtown Inner line. I also want to just change that out and get rid of the buses there and select the types to be Route Master. Select those and remove the vehicles. Add, say, 2 more. And we'll see if that ends up working. But that'll be a bus that basically just shuttles people back and forth between those areas, which may get use, may not, but it's just a quick way back and forth between them. Again, I'm curious to see if people will end up using it. There's a couple of people actually queuing up there to use it, which is nice. So that may end up being a short but useful line. I think what we really need to do, though, is definitely come over here and look at what we can do with buses for the tourism area, because we do have metro lines going through there. We do not, however, have any buses. So I reckon we'll do a bus just there, and then we'll have that actually come into the tourism area and sort of loop around a little bit. We'll have one stop there as well. We'll have one come along the back end of the tourism space. So to there, back to there. We could have one stop at the front of that subway station. We'll have one stop at the front of that subway station. And we'll have this then just loop back on itself. So that is the... I don't know what you'd call that. The Tourism Express. Tourism Express. There's the name. And we're just going to remove some vehicles because I really don't want regular buses on it. So remove and remove. And we'll add a few more route masters. 1 and 2. There we go. So up to 6 buses on that line. Tourism Express. There we go. Let's actually confirm the name. Make sure I didn't miss any. No, I didn't. Okay, so the Tourism Express might get some people using it. It might not. There's no one queuing there. Is there anyone queuing up here? A couple of people just there. Anyone at any of these stops? A couple of people. There's no one there. There's no one there. So this may not be a successful line. It's difficult to tell, though. Like, usually lines don't immediately have a bunch of people using them, so it's entirely likely that this will pick up. I'll add a stop there. And, I mean, it might. It might not. We'll see. I would like to look at the overall numbers, though. That's for sure. Let's have a look once more at the bus lines. Tourism Express has a few people at the stops, which is nice. City Airport Express, again, not very popular, and that's fine. City Center Line, very popular. Stop 6 now has a lot of people waiting on it. Why stop 6? Where is stop 6? Stop 6 is right there. So I guess that's the best place for people from Moor Hills to go if they want to transfer into the city center. That's okay. So the city center line's doing fine. Downtown Central's always done fine. The downtown lines are generally fine. The Moor line is... It's a quieter one, but I'm actually going to keep that, even though it is less than 100 people using it. I mean, the city airport one is pretty low as well. But the Moor line is useful. It gets people from the train station, which is what I want. Nerdchester Park Circle is not very popular, but it's the only mode of transport into a certain space, which is, what do you call it? Umber Heights. Yep. And then South Downtown Inner is actually more popular than than it looks to be there. So that's fine. That's a bunch of buses to fill up some space, basically. It would probably be a great idea to get some buses that come out to Park Industrial Park, because there's a lot of people who go out that way, and the same with Yellow Snow Industrial Park. So what we'll do is have a couple of stops in here. First one, it's going to be on that side. Other one is going to be on that side. And I guess we could do one just there as well. Hold on, let's just... we'll start there. We'll go to there. We'll go to there. And now what we need to do is basically figure out the best places to take this line, because it... I mean, where do people... Where have we... Is that... That's... Where have we got the schools out policy is probably the best question. Like, where do people... I mean, let's have a look at the policy. So this has... What? Education boost. So that's not going to be it. Crescent Hills is not it. Umber Heights is not it. Hillside, not it. Autumn Heights, no. Briarwood, no. 1211 Square has schools out. That's fine. Umber Hills... Chestnut District also has it. And Hemlock District has it. But I can't imagine that's where everyone's working. Okay, we'll just do some bus lines and see what we can get here. So let me just drag that stop to move it so we can complete this line. We'll bring a bus in to... I guess 1211 Square wouldn't hurt, but that's going to be a really lengthy bus line, isn't it? Oh, it's actually not so bad. That's actually pretty good, what it does there. It just turns straight off and comes into here. So I guess we'll go... I really wish I could see where the traffic was coming from. I really wish I could see where people were coming from to work there. But we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. We'll bring it into 1211 Square. So we'll go to there. We'll bring it down to that line. We'll bring it down a little bit further into the Highland District. We'll bring it down to... why would... Oh, it has to do that. Okay, well, it's going to go to there instead then. It's going to go to there. It's going to come up to the side of Hemlock District. It's going to have a stop. Not there, actually. It's going to stop there. It's going to have a stop just at the side of 1211 Square. And then it's just going to come back to there. So there we go. That is the Yellow Snow line, which is fine. That is actually just going to have buses, I think. That's not going to be route masters, so we'll take those out completely. It's also got 23 buses, apparently. That's possibly a bit too many, if I do say so myself. So we'll just take out all the route masters, which leaves it with 10 buses, which is much more reasonable. So hopefully, that line will prove to be useful. Excuse me. Let's see. What could we do for in here? I guess a bus looping around this place might be a good idea. I really wish I could do it on the opposite side of the road, though, because it is just a big one-way road, so that'd be kind of great. But we'll give this a shot. We'll just do... We'll do a bunch of just really... I mean, are there even that many people walking around here? Not really. I mean, now that I really look at it, no one's really walking around the industrial area. So it would probably not be all that beneficial to do this. Although maybe no one's walking around because there's not really anywhere to walk to. I mean, there's no point in walking because there's no public transport, there's no paths, there's no quick ways through, so maybe that's why. We'll give this a shot. We'll see what happens when we add just a big sort of park circle line to this area. There are actually a couple of people walking there, so we might be onto something. That's getting super busy there. That's less than good. Let's see. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Bring it to there, and back to the start. So that is the... Oh, it's got bloody... This is going to be another one with just buses. It's also got 9 buses. There we go, down to 5. That is the park circle, is what we'll call that. So we'll see if that gets anyone using it. I'm curious to just watch these numbers. There's 2 people at stop 8. Which is probably because stop 8 is closest to the... No, it's not closest to the train station. It might actually be a good idea to move this stop, though, and put it up by the train station. So doing something like that could be beneficial. So we'll give that a shot. Move this one back just a little bit. That could be quite beneficial, though. Someone can get the train and then immediately get a bus. That might be a good idea. I will certainly keep my eye on that. Let's have a look at the numbers, though. I mean, there's a couple of people opting to use the buses, which is good. So that may work out. What I do want to do is absolutely get a bus from the middle of the city out to Park. So this is going to be city center to Park as well, which is basically going to have to be pretty much the same as the loop that we have, because there's no quick way to get back out of here. So let's have a look. We'll not have it go to as many places. We'll have it just have a few stops here and there. So something like that. Have it skip on a little bit. Have it skip on a little bit. And have it stop there as not there. Have it stop there as well. Actually, no, we'll not bother with that one. Then we'll just bring it straight back. So this just comes straight back into the city and to the station. And that's going to be the Park Express. There we go. And that's going to be using just buses. How many buses is it going to... 24! Yeah, I don't think we're really going to need that many buses. Let's remove a few of those. Let's remove a bunch more of them. Let's get rid of 2 more and settle with 10. A much better number. So that's the Park Express, which may or may not end up being useful. Hopefully it turns out to be useful. That would be absolutely excellent if it did. But I'm willing to wait and see. I do want to look at these numbers again, though. I'm very curious to see what we've got. So there's not that many people on the Park Express, which is fine. City Airport Express is pretty much the same as always. City Center Line, super busy. That first stop, the downtown inner lines are fine. The Moor Line is actually settling down, which is interesting. Nerdchester Park Circle is alright. South Downtown Inner is alright. The Tourism Express is not that great. And the Yellow Snow Line is actually pretty good, now that I look at it. So that's good. We've actually got some reasonable bus lines in there. I actually think the number of people we have using the buses is higher than it was previously. And I realize I haven't yet shown you my new metro lines. So it's a bit packed, and there are tailbacks in some places. But basically, there are some dead ends, is what I was aiming for. So this line in particular, it stops here, it doesn't continue on. It starts here, shall we say. It comes along this way, goes up this way, and dead ends here. Then it turns and goes back. These lines here, the green one is the circle. That goes the entire way around the city. The blue one doesn't quite go the whole way around the city. It's basically called the short circle. And this purple line, dead ends down here in Hillside Square, goes the whole way around here and down towards the train station, where it also dead ends. So basically, bunch of dead end lines. They don't necessarily all loop. There are some problems, as you can see here, with trains backing up. But they are all fairly popular. This pink line here is the South Line. It takes people from Central down to this station, if they so desire, and down into the South Downtown area, which is actually quite a popular line because it's one of the quickest ways to get from here to the Central Station. And that's pretty much my new metro setup. And you've also seen the new bus setup because we just went through and did all of it. But there's a lot of dead-end lines. There's a lot that just go back and forth that are basically shuttles. There are a couple of loops, but not all that many of them. And it seems to be working pretty well from what I can see. I'm also noticing, yeah, those trains are moving. They're doing their thing, which is great. I'm just loving how the public transport's going in the city. Also, didn't I have more rocks there? I could swear I had more rocks there. I feel like there's a big chunk of rock missing. Not on this side. Well, maybe that side. Did I do that bit? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing a big chunk of rock there. Let's see if we can do something about that, because that's a bit curious. Let's see what we've got. We've got some rocks. I apparently can't put them in there though. So let's just sort of build this up a little bit, because that's not good enough. I'm not okay with that. Doesn't look good at all. Let's just do that kind of thing, just build it up a little bit. I don't mind that being sort of exposed. It just looks really weird that it looks like I've just missed a bit. That looks okay. We can add some trees into that and actually make it look kind of interesting if we do something like that. And that sort of hides it. That's a bit better. Okay, well, I mean, I think we've made progress from what I can tell. I mean, the number of people using the buses is constantly rising, which is excellent news. The Park Express is actually super popular. There's so many people coming to the train station, the central bus station there to go out to Park. The Park Circle is actually super popular as well, which is excellent news. So that's good. That's what I want to see. That is absolutely what I want to see. I think what would also make a lot more sense is to get rid of all the other stops for the Park Express, rather than having it stop here. For example, we just have it stop at that one place in the at the entrance to the industrial park. That way, anyone that wants to get about the industrial park has to jump onto the Park Circle line. And that line now has a bit of relevance. So let's give that a shot. Let's take out the yellow line there, and let's take out any other places where the yellow line is. There we go. So it just stops here, which means that we may see people opting to jump off of the yellow line, jump onto the purple line. I'm curious to see. I want to see a bus come in here. I'm not seeing any though. Maybe we do actually need more buses for that line, because I'm absolutely not seeing any of them, and there's a lot of people still waiting back there. So I think this is a line where we're actually going to need about 20 buses. So let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more buses, and we'll see how that does. Might end up being useful, might not. We might have to upgrade it to Route Masters, which can carry way more people. We may also need to find a way to integrate this central station into the city a lot more, because what I'm noticing is we really don't have that. We don't really have much in the way of integration with this central station. I mean, there's 300 and something people using this platform here. There's also what looks like a couple of people occasionally getting off of an airport bus, getting onto that platform, and then going about their business. That's a weird one. Did that pick up a bunch of people? Yeah, 30. Oh, God. Only 30 people on a bus. That's ridiculous. Let's change that. Let's go to regular bus. I want that to be 52, because I think that's about the number. 52 and set. Okay, 50 then. So that can now carry 50 people, which is a bit better. That'll hopefully make everything a little bit more efficient too, which is what I really want. So that comes around. Is that going to pick up? Picks up all 50 people. And then it should just get on its way. There we go. So that's good. That's a lot of people using buses. That's more people than we had previously. That's also more people using the metro lines. I'm really happy about this. There's a few people queued there. That's actually a few people wanting to get onto the express as well, so people leaving this area going to the city. That'll hopefully reduce traffic. At least that's what I'm thinking. I imagine that would reduce traffic. I can't imagine it would leave it exactly as it was, so we should see fewer people driving about, in theory. At least, that's the hope. A lot of people waiting there to catch a bus. A lot of people waiting there. A couple of people. I'm happy with this. I know that this entire episode has just been buses, and I'm actually okay with that, because one of the biggest complaints people have had is public transport. And while my bus lines aren't super efficient, there are now fewer of them. Well, actually, no, well, are there? There's a lot of them. I don't think there's as many as we had, but they all serve a purpose and all have a reasonable number of people using them, which is just the best thing. The Tourism Express isn't all that great. The South Downtown Inner is pretty good. Park Circle is actually really good. We have the Moore line, which is not doing great anymore. The Park Express actually has no one waiting anymore, which is really good news. That means that we have probably more than enough buses to deal with it now. City Airport Express is doing its thing. City Center line is still super busy, but I'm okay with that. I think the City Center line could possibly do with a couple more vehicles. We'll knock it up to 15 there and see if that's enough to maybe clear out this stop and keep it under control. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I really am. I think the last thing we'll do is we'll get a bus that goes from the center here down to the university in Stardew Valley. I think that could be good. Or maybe just the front of the tax building. That could be an idea. Maybe just there. Why can't it go to the other side of the road? Okay, the front of the university it is. Or maybe it wants to do that. Why is it being so weird with the way it wants to go on these roads? I guess we'll have it go. Have I got a weird one-way system in there? I really don't know. But for some reason, it really doesn't want to. Oh, it's because I'm using these pedestrian roads, isn't it? That's exactly what it is. Okay, where's me station? There's me station. All right, get rid of that. Do that. Let's see. Can I get a bus to go in there? No. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I guess it's going to have to go there, isn't it? And then to that side. And then back out. So I guess that's the Stardew Valley Express. So that's going to be the Stardew Valley Express, which is going to use, I'll say regular buses. Definitely doesn't need 29 of them. That's kind of ridiculous. Let's try and take out like 19 of those, because I can't imagine we're going to have that many people going to Stardew Valley anytime soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll leave them with, we're just going to leave them with 10. So there we go. There's 10 buses going out that way. And what I also want to do is come to the next platform, and that's going to go out to whatever this is going to be, which we still don't have a name. I've pre-recorded a couple of episodes, by the way. This one, the previous episode hasn't gone out. Basically. At the time I'm recording, the previous episode hasn't gone out. So, we don't have a name for that place just yet. But we'll come from the central station to over here, I suppose, to Summit Peak, which, again, I still like that name. It's not a terrible name. But we'll come into the main road here for Summit Peak. Then we'll come around, and we'll go to here, I suppose. We'll have it come in. We could have it come in there. I guess we'll do that. We'll have just a bus that can sort of deal with the suburban area there as well, and then just come back to the whatever the station. There we go. So that's going to be the Summit Peak line, not line, Express, which is probably going to have a ridiculous number of buses too. Yeah, 51. Wow. I mean, I get it, this game just adds buses based on distance, but it'd be really nice if it added buses based on, like, the amount of, like, population around an area. Because Summit Peak does not ever need that many buses. I would question how many buses do we even have that number of buses in the city? I would really question that. Let's knock this down to about 6 buses going out to Summit Peak. That seems fine to me. That's not very many at all, but that should be alright. I'm actually very curious to just watch this for a second and see if anyone gets onto those lines. In fact, the easiest way to do that would be to click here and look at the Summit Peak Express, which actually has a few people waiting to get on a bus in Summit Peak. I'm okay with that. Oh, time until board, though. You can actually see that they will get bored pretty quickly, so that's interesting. Enable vehicle and set the unbunching state to all other stops at this station/position. Oh, they're getting bored. They are getting bored. We're probably gonna need to get more buses then, because they'll only wait for so long. So maybe we want to add... How many buses would it take to have a gap of like 1 kilometer? That's 2 kilometers. Let's try a gap of just like 1 kilometer. That's about as close as we're gonna get. We need 22 buses to do that. Okay. What about the Stardew Valley Express? 30 people waiting out in Stardew Valley who are all incredibly bored. So that's great. They are now officially bored and aren't going to be happy about that. So the Stardew Valley Express is 10 buses. How many would we... Oh, that's actually pretty good, that one. We could probably add a couple more. There we go. So we now have an exact gap of 1 kilometer for those buses. At least that's the goal. And we have people just waiting to go and do their thing. So good. We have a bunch of new buses going out to Stardew Valley, going out to Summit Peak, which I absolutely love the look of there, by the way. Just looks absolutely excellent. We also have the... Do we have any snowplows in here? I'm not seeing any. Like, this whole area really needs a couple of snow... Oh, no, there is one. Oh, look at that. That tiny little street with a snowplow in it. That looks amazing. I really love... Oh, it's so yellow out here. It looks so good, though. It really does. It looks kind of proper European to me with the really yellow lights. Let's just zone up that little bit as well to see if we can fill out that space. Because I think it could look nice if we did that. This space as well could technically be zoned if I really wanted it to be. I just don't know that I necessarily want to zone on what is technically a highway. That seems a little bit silly. So I think we'll avoid doing that. But we could. If we ever need to, we can do that, but we probably won't, let's be honest. We'll also unzone or dezone that bit. There's actually a lot of people out here. There's a population of 1,787. That's not bad. I would love to know what we have over here as well, but I mean, I guess I could continue the district the whole way around. Or technically just continue it across. That's a thing I could do. Let's just continue over to there. And sort of done around this way, then up that way. This whole thing is basically going to be Summit Peak. Is what I'm thinking. So we'll just take it up and around that road and around that way. And, oh, I know what this is going to potentially look like. Oh, no, it doesn't. It looks more like a ghost than what I thought it was going to look like there, which is fine. I'm okay with it looking like a ghost. It could look much worse. So the real question now is how many people live in Summit Peak? Where is it? There it is. 2,980. So 3,000 people live out here. That's kind of cool. It's also really interesting seeing them drive up and around like this. Like, that would be terrifying to drive on that road. That really would, especially at night with that yellow light, because that's going to make it even more difficult to see anything that's outside of the field of the light. But yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job here today. We have more people using the buses and metro than we ever had before, which I'm super happy about. So that's going to be it. Thank you kind of for watching. This has been Skylines Snowfall. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.